Coast 97.3, number for hip hop and R&B, smack dab in the mix. And I'm in the mix, so my voice is in the mix. I don't know what's going on. It sounds worse than it feels.
Okay, but when did it feel not good?
Not really. I just sound bad.
Did you sound bad? Okay.
Yeah. Just
I'm glad you're okay.
Congestion, you know what I'm saying?
It's going around. Everybody, I'm gonna be honest with you. People are like, I don't feel, and I'm like, oh, why'd I leave the house? I feel okay, but I'm not trying to get sick.
We'll spray the lights on here. She's in the building. The licensed professional therapist, Fresh, is here. We're talking about you're enough.
Yes.
Explain that.
I'm going to explain where I got the idea.
You're enough.
And then we'll explain maybe next section what the concept is.
Yeah.
So shout out to Safe Haven in Pender County. We had the honor of doing training with them this morning.
Excuse me.
So we were in Pender County doing training, and Safe Haven in Pender County is they do a lot of things, but one of the major things they do is provide shelter for domestic violence victims.
Okay.
And anytime I go to do a training, the first thing I do is talk to the people about like what is important to them, like
Right.
what do they want to get out of the training.
Right.
And as we went around the room, what I was hearing was a lot of people in the room saying that, without saying it, but basically saying that they don't feel like they have enough tools, they don't feel like they're enough.
Mm.
So we went through the training, and then we kind of circled back to those questions, and they felt better, they felt like they had some tools. But one of the things I was empowering them about, and this is to all professional helpers, nurses,
Right.
EMTs, domestic violence shelter workers, teachers,
Mm-hmm.
everybody. Shout out to everybody that for a living you help people.
Right.
You are enough. So even if you don't have all the training and all the fancy tools and all the credentials behind your name and all those things, the fact that you are showing up and providing a safe place, physically and emotionally, for the people that you serve, like that is a huge deal.
Okay.
And I think sometimes we, meaning the helpers, those of us who are helping, don't take that into consideration, and we end up leaving our work environment feeling like we didn't do enough, like we didn't help enough.
Question
we didn't
ourselves.
Right.
You are enough.
Yes.
And then you start over again tomorrow.
Yes.
That's what keep it locked. We got more on the way, and let's see if my throat is enough. Cause I don't know.
B, you're enough too, even with your voice.
Thank you. Post 97.3, no more for hip hop and R&B. That's Big Sean, my last. This might be my last break with this point. Hey, we're talking about you are enough, and that makes sense. In this time, we're getting into the time of holiday season,
Yes.
Thanksgiving. You are enough. Some people might not feel they're enough. They might not be going home.
Mm-hmm.
You might not be going home for Thanksgiving because you don't want to deal with your in-laws. You don't want to deal with your family.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to deal with certain situations.
Or maybe you
might not
feel
have
like you
enough
can't
bread,
go home.
Right? You don't want to go home. You got to work the next day.
Right.
I don't want to have to deal with no traffic and
You
get
can't
back.
drive all the way to New York.
Yeah, stuff like that. So, what? You're enough. Explain that.
So I was thinking about, so I came up with the theme, you are enough, and then I was driving around and I was just thinking about like, what are people going through, what's on people's minds, what's happening in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed like the tree stands going up in terms of the
Mhm.
places that are selling the trees and lights and things like that. We're getting ready for Christmas. And then I was thinking about before Christmas, we got Thanksgiving. And what often happens when we're around family, and I like to always throw out a little personal thing for y'all.
Right.
So one of the things that happens for me is I come from an amazing family. And we really do love each other and support each other, but oftentimes when I'm around my family, I don't feel like I'm enough.
Okay.
And then I'm thinking, okay, well, if I feel that way, I can't be the only one. So I can't be the only one that feels like I'm not enough. And I think that is an issue that people struggle with around the holidays,
Mhm.
feeling like you're not enough because you can't cook well enough, or you can't buy enough food,
Right.
or you don't have the freshest outfit, and everybody likes to show out for Black Friday and all that kind of stuff, or go to the movies or whatever.
Yeah.
So you feel pressure to be around your family maybe, or maybe you don't want to be around your family, maybe you can't be around your family because your family doesn't fully accept you.
Mhm.
Like there's so many opportunities to feel less than
Yeah.
starting in November. I feel like going all the way to like March. There's all these opportunities that society can make you feel like you're not enough.
Right.
And what I'm here to tell you, as the licensed therapist in the house,
You are.
you are. You're absolutely enough.
Hold on, Port City, we talking about it. You enough. Here's DJ Sway, the weed mix guy. Because if you know, you got nowhere to go. I got beans. I got greens. Potatoes and tomatoes.
Potatoes and tomatoes.
She said yams. And then she said
And
rams.
then she also said rams. Okay, B.
I heard.
Okay.
She said rams.
I believe you. I believe you. Clearly, everybody knows the
So
song
you
better than I
are
do.
enough. You going into it. How do we go into Thanksgiving next week and be like, okay, this is what I want to do. Do you plan something out? Do you just sit there? Because you just sit there in the house and there's nothing going on. Like it comes crashing down. I'm speaking from experience.
I need to avoid the crash. All right. So how do you handle it? So I think there's a couple things. One is have your support person. So like one of the things that I do is I have a particular cousin of mine that I know she also feels like she's not enough.
Yeah.
So like she's my holiday buddy.
Right.
So I make sure that we are sitting in a place where we can keep eye contact with each other, where, you know, after we eat, I'll check in with her, like, how you feeling? Maybe we'll go for a walk. Like, give yourself some space to kind of have that emotion, but then also stay engaged.
Right.
Like, I think the thing not to do is just to shut down and isolate from everybody and not talk to anybody. Because all that's going to do is have you on that continual loop in your head saying you're not enough.
Mm-hmm.
So don't do that.
Right.
Definitely interact. But the other thing is like, if you feel like you can't or shouldn't go to maybe your traditional family, a lot of people do Friendsgiving. That's like a thing now.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
It's a big thing. So I think that that's another option, is definitely, you know, if you feel like for whatever reason your family's not an option, definitely do a Friendsgiving thing and make a big celebration of it and kind of take the favorite parts of that holiday for you and put it into that holiday.
Yes.
Also, shout out to all the people who don't do Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of us.
Because some people just going to work.
Some people, yeah. But also some people just, it's not a thing for them.
It's showing.
It's not their religion, it's not their
Right.
whatever.
They don't
So, shout out to all of y'all. But I think when you don't participate in the main culture, which in this country, the main culture, quote unquote, is Christianity, I think for those of us who don't participate in that, we also feel like,
left out.
right, like, dang. So the thing is, even if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, you can still have a great meal, go out to eat, cook a good meal, whatever. It could be for whatever reason, or do whatever you do to celebrate.
I'm cooking fried fish.
You're cooking fried fish? What kind?
I don't even know.
Fried fish. You know what I really am craving right now, like in this moment? Shrimp cocktail. I don't even know why. I just really want some shrimp. I know that's weird, but I just want
Do you
shrimp.
need to talk after this?
Do we need, no.
Okay.
No, we don't, B. Thank you, though, for saying that on the radio. Appreciate you for that.
No.
So, moving on. So, you are enough. Just making sure that you're creating that space. And the thing is, all of us, most of us are blessed enough to at least have one person
Right.
that makes us feel like we are enough.
Right.
So, you need to make sure to have contact with that person just to
Right.
check in with them and say, okay, what's up? How you doing? How you feeling? Because when you check in with them, they're going to check in with you, and that's just going to help you feel
Yeah.
a little bit better.
I try checking with all my moms. 'Cause, you know, it's rough for me. My mom's not around, so I check in with all my moms. Shout out to Miss Elsie, Mama Gracie, Mama Beverly, little Edna, all my moms.
That's a good
You know what
idea.
I'm saying? Call
Yeah.
them up. Sometimes I go by that, but I'll call them up.
Definitely just hear people's voice. And honestly, that makes, for some reason, when you take care of other people in that way, that's not work,
Yeah,
it really helps you to also feel better.
definitely.
So I would recommend
And you
people
feel good
do
too.
that. Yeah.
Yep.
It gets you in the feel goods all around.
If we want to see more and know more about you being enough, how do we follow you?
So we got lots of options. We've had a lot of listeners get really kind of like, I can't listen to you because I'm not listening to the radio at that time, blah, 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 blah. So Healing Your Almond now has a YouTube channel. So all of our episodes will be posted on YouTube. So if you like got into the car and you turn on the radio and you're like, I just heard the last 2 minutes of Franchon and missed the last 30 minutes, you can go to YouTube and do a search for Healing Your Almond, and our last 2 episodes will show up.
Good.
Also Facebook, we have Healing Your Almond, and Instagram, Healing Your Almond, and Your Almond on Twitter. Also shout outs, just a reminder that on healingyouramond.com, when you go to community engagement, if you would like to decide what we talk about, you can change it.
Change the narrative.
Yes. B.
Yes.
I love you when you do things like that. It brings me joy.
Yeah.
Change the narrative. Yeah, so whatever y'all want to talk about, if you have any questions for me or for B, for those of you that missed last week, we both have disclosed that B and I are both actively engaged in therapy. So if you would like to talk to us about that experience or you have some questions, Brandon from his perspective or me from my perspective, which is different, you are welcome to ask us that, and we will answer you on the air.
I'll be honest. I'm honest.
Yeah, we keep it a little too real up in here sometimes, which is why I love working with BiggB. So that's pretty much it. HealingYourMama.com. Also, shout out to the person that emailed me 2 days ago. I promise you I'm going to email you back tonight.
Cool.
I have some people that have been hitting me up for personal questions, so I will get back to you. And I love y'all.
That's
I
what
think
it
that's
is.
all I need.
It's a wrap. We got more on the way. It's Coastline 7.3.
Make sure